I'm going to talk to you about square root of 2 today. The interesting fact about the number root 2 is that if you take a A series paper, which is a common printer paper, and if you take the ratio of the longer side to the smaller side, the ratio comes out to be root 2, which means that if you take the length of this side and divide by the length of this side, you will get the number root 2. So as we know, root 2 is an irrational number, which means it is a number where the decimal part of it is non-recurring and it keeps going on forever. And there are many such numbers which are irrational, and root 2 is one of them. Now, another interesting fact is if you take this paper and if you fold it into half, so here is the half paper. Now, this paper is the A5 paper, right? So this is a A4 paper, and if you fold it, it becomes a A5 paper. Now this becomes the longer side, and this becomes the shorter side. And in this one also, if you divide the longer side by the shorter side, you're going to get a number root 2. Now let's try to understand why this number root 2 appears as a ratio between the longer side and the shorter side. There has to be something either special about that number or it just comes by mathematics. So let's go ahead and see why that number root 2 comes there. So what you're seeing on screen here is an A0 paper with a ratio of root 2, which is then folded, and what we get is A1 paper. Still, the ratio remains the root 2, which is further folded into half, and we get an A2 paper, which is then folded to get A3, and another fold to get A4, then A5, A6, A7, and A8. So here I have drawn an A4 paper for you. So this is what an A4 paper is. And this side I have marked as A, and this side I have marked as B. So A is the bigger side and B is the smaller side. And when we fold this paper into half, so this is half of the length, and I'm naming this as Y, and this is X. Now, we know that X is equals to B and Y is equals to A by 2, as Y is half of this A here. So now what we want here is, we want to write an equation. So here is the equation which I'm going to write. So I'm going to say the ratio of A by B has to be equal to the ratio of X by Y, as the ratio remains the constant. Now we know X is equals to B and Y is equals to A by 2. So when I simplify this, I'm going to get A by B is equals to 2 times B by A. Now if we rearrange this, I'm going to get A square by B square is equals to 2, which implies A by B, which is the ratio of A's to B, has to be root 2.